This is Rowan, your Pinoy tech lead, and I would like to introduce to you how to use the ContainDS Desktop. So let's start by sharing my screen. Okay, so we'll create our first environment. Make sure that it doesn't exist. And you also will have to make sure that you have installed ContainerDS and also its dependencies. For this one, I chose the dependency to be Oracle VM VirtualBox. As you can see here in my VirtualBox that I have set up a default, it's the built-in machine. You can have it shown like that one. It's already started. So and I push select for the Jupyter minimal. Make sure that the folder doesn't exist yet. It will be saved on my username and I'll push create. So this one will create the machine. Make sure that this is a new folder. For this case, it's a new folder. It's located here. And then once it's already running, you can see here there's a stop button, and then you click the web or the launch in Jupyter browser. Launch Jupyter in browser. So from here, you will be able to have the Jupyter here. As you can see here, I don't have the R because I use the minimal one. So here's another function that you could use with Jupyter. This one is running a Conda or Anaconda uh, environment, so I could install R easily. So I could use Python and R for this environment. So that's why R R does essentials, R does IRK kernel, R does tidy first. So I'll be installing the most commonly used dependencies for our setup for this one. Right now I'm running it, so this may take some time. So let's explore this. This one is running. Okay. So first we'll create a simple Python notebook. Name it as Python testing. And let's have a simple hello world. You can see it's running. It's running. And then make sure that it's really Python. I could use Python dash version to see if it's okay. History will not be related. Python 3.7.4. This one is already saved. One, you could check it on your folder. So for me, it's here. Roland folder, and you see it's Jupyter minimal Roland. And from there, we'll be able to see the Python testing. That's the first notebook that I created. So while waiting, we're completing this one. By the way, the installation command that I have is on dash install dash y r r dash ir kernel r dash essentials r dash tidyverse. So this is a command that I use here, and then we'll be able to test the notebook afterwards. Okay, let's continue. This one will complete in a while. Also, if you would like to look at the Jupyter, you could see the running. I have the Python notebook that's running in terminal, and I could shut it down. But for now, I won't shut it down because we're using it. So I wanted to stop this Python testing, and then I could shut it down. So when I open it again, it will automatically load the kernel for Python. This one is using Python 3. You also switch the kernel from here, or you could just run it. So this one is running right now. It's good. Maybe this one doesn't refresh. Okay. That's it. I could save it, close it. Okay, we're almost complete on setting up these. Okay, now we're done. We just need to refresh the home page for the Jupyter. And from here, you'll be able to click new, and then there's a new R notebook. So create a new R notebook. Say R notebook test. You can see it's saved over here. This one. And then we could test R, like R dot version. And we could also do a session information, which is specific only to R. And we have successfully loaded R. It's basic libraries. We could save this one. And you see it has a logo R and it's using the kernel as R. Kernel used here is R. And then you could close this one. And now you have it. Now, you could also export this environment, but be sure to stop the current file. Stop it first, and we could click it. I could also put it in my favorites, this one. And we could also export this one by clicking the share button. Note, by the way, if you share something, you will be able to share it as a Voila presentation. A Voila presentation is something like a notebook that doesn't have codes embedded in it. But for now, I'll just export it as it is. So it could be shared, including the codes and the environment that we're trying to set up for the Docker, which is also a Linux-based environment. And after that, you will have that exported to this location with this kind of file name. After that, you'll be ready to use it and share it with others. And the others will just have to import it into their own ContainDS desktop. So, thank you. Hope you learned today. And that's my quick tutorial for ContainDS Desktop. By the way, I'm Robert Earl, and I'm IT engineer and also have background in AI, data science, and others. Also do some basic uh, data science architectures, solutions architectures, and others. Thank you.